Hi, my name is Jen, and here's a simple Demi tutorial. First, pick 3 distractions on your face to neutralize. Now identify the excess colors in those distractions. That's the color that's making it distracting. Here's an easy chart. My first distraction is my under eyes, and because they are dark, I know they are excess blue. I'm looking for the darkest points within that distraction, and I'm using the opposite color on the color wheel to neutralize them. Orange is the opposite color, so that's what I'm using, and it will be the tin in your palette that's marked with a 1. Make sure to only place the color on top of the color you're trying to neutralize with a very small amount of product, being careful not to go outside of it. If you get too much product, you can dab it in with the fluffy end, but be careful not to blend it out or it will go off of the spot that you're trying to neutralize. Take a step back every so often before continuing and decide if the area is still distracting, and if it's not, then move on to the next. My next distraction is blemishes and redness. If it's a scab that's brown, then we know it's probably excess green. And when you're trying to neutralize a larger area of redness, just stick to the darkest points, then take a step back, decide if it's still distracting, and then move on to the next darkest point, etc. And just stop when it's no longer distracting. Now I'm moving on to some broken capillaries on my nose. And know that blemishes tend to be a lot of different excess colors, so you're going to probably need to use more than one color on them to neutralize them and just target each area of it specifically. My third distraction is hyperpigmentation. Sunspots and freckles, if they are light brown, are usually excess green. If they're very dark, then they're usually excess blue. And I use this spot brush, which is the smallest brush, for almost all of my neutralizing. And now I'm just working on some shadows around my mouth. And notice that I am not neutralizing anything where I apply my blush and sculpt, because there's really no point, because it would just wipe off. So for this reason, I actually usually apply my sculpt and blush before I neutralize. But I know some of you just have the bright edits, so that's why I wanted to show that first. So now I'm sculpting. And you want to use the sculpt that is the color opposite of your skin tone on the color wheel. So I am using the red sculpt. And this will be different on different areas of your face. A lot of people are more blue near their hairline. For me, I am very olive, so I am pretty much green everywhere. And the sculpts will be marked with an N in your palette. And then the letter after it is the color that it is. And I usually use this larger brush when I'm sculpting. And you just want to place the sculpt wherever you want dimension, so in pretty much traditional contour areas. Now I'm sculpting my nose with a smaller brush. I'm still sticking with that red sculpt because my nose has a ton of freckling on it, and freckles are excess green generally, at least mine are. And now I'm just brightening the center with some red to break up those freckles. And now moving on to sculpting my lips. This will just make your lips pop a little bit. Again, you can sculpt and you can neutralize anywhere you want with Demi. It's all under your control. So whatever you don't want to neutralize, you don't have to. Whatever you don't want to sculpt, you don't have to sculpt. Now I'm just adding color lastly, just in my areas where I want to build color. So like a traditional blush, I'm using R05 because my cheeks are a blue-green. And then I'm also adding color to my lips and some balm. And that's it. 3 distractions, sculpt, add your color, and there you have it. Simple Demi.